All right, two NFC West powerhouses are going to clash this Sunday when the Rams host the Seahawks to battle it out for first place in the division. Both teams head into this week riding a 4-game win streak. They're currently tied with an NFC Best 7-2 record, and their success has a lot to do with the success of both quarterbacks. Sam Darnold has been one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL this season while leading the Seahawks to a 7-2 record. He ranks first in total QBR and yards per attempt while ranking third in completion percentage. And so, if Sam Darnold takes a win over the Rams on Sunday, will you believe in him?
Well, it will go far. But I still, myself personally, I can't get past those 2 games last year for the Vikings in Detroit. Sunday night, week 17, he was bad in the game. And then he wasn't bad. He was putrid on January 13th in L.A. against
Arizona against L.A. They moved that game to Arizona.
They moved the game to Arizona. Thank you, Peter. Yes, you're right, because of the fires. He was putrid in that game. I mean, 9 sacks. Terrible. And I can't get past those 2 games. Now, maybe it's unfair for me. He's had a big year. He did have 2 fumbles last week against the Cardinals, which does worry me. He did fumble against San Francisco driving late in week 1. That worries me. And he also threw an interception off a helmet, but he threw an interception against Tampa when the game was tied, and then Mayfield went down the field and he scored. So there's even in a couple of losses, I didn't like some things that I saw, but I'll be fair. If he goes to L.A. this week and beats Stafford and the Seahawks win and he plays well, that would go in the right direction for me to believe that Darnold in postseason play I can count on.
I look at this as how many times does he have to win a game for us to finally give him the benefit of the doubt? This guy went 14-3 last year. Granted, 2 of those losses were horrendous losses in the clutchest of moments. And then this year starts the season off 7-2. Very rarely does a guy have to prove himself twice in 2 consecutive years. Like, this guy can play quarterback. We're seeing it. He's been excellent this year. I spoke with him before the Monday night game against the Texans. Different Sam Darnold than it was when he was with the Jets and even when he was with Carolina. 28 years old. He's engaged to the love of his life. He bought his first home this offseason because he finally has a team to tell him, you are our guy, signed a $100 million contract to be with Seattle, and he has fulfilled expectations. He doesn't have to do everything. That defense is the best in the league, if you ask me. He just cannot turn the ball over in big spots. I get it, there's going to be doubters. To me, he's already proven himself. He did it last year with Minnesota. It's very difficult to go 14-3 in a season. He's doing it again this year in Seattle. He'll get the opportunities. The more you go to the playoffs, the more opportunities you get. We did this whole song and dance about Peyton Manning till he finally won. We did it about Kirk Cousins. He finally went into New Orleans and won. I think this guy, Sam Darnold, is a different player than he was as a young guy, and we deserve to give him his credit.
Peter.
I know. Give it to me.
Kirk Cousins.
Peter.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
You know
Cousins a little strong.
A little strong. A little strong. You were had you still there.
Hold on.
I like Kirk Cousins. I just the argument was trending in the right direction.
Hold on.
Sounded good coming out of my mouth. It sounded good.
Mad Dog and I are both like,
unlike some of these people at other places, I respect my colleagues, and I respect my colleagues at other channels and stuff like that. And I watch your years of work. I respect the hell out of you, Peter Schrager, but come on, bro. You being a little bit too damn nice this morning. You know better than that. You know that when it comes to Sam Darnold, it ain't about his ability at this point. We know he can play quarterback. Yeah. We know he can throw the football. We know that he can win some games. We get all of that part. We all waiting for the end. You can't wet the bed with a division title on the line like you did against Detroit last year when you were playing for Minnesota. Was the number 1 seed on the line. We're going to remind, we're going to remember, we're going to engage in recall here. The Minnesota Vikings were 14-2, 16 games into the season, week 17. And Sam Darnold came into that locker room and they poured water on them like it was champagne. And I'm sitting right here on this set, Shay.
Yep.
Doggy. And I went like this. There it is, right there. That's right. They got that footage for me. They know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm sitting there going like this. Literally, I mean, you had producers and everybody in there. And I was the one that stood up and went like this. Did they win the division title that I didn't know about? Was that a playoff game? I said, they ain't win nothing yet. You got the Detroit Lions waiting for you next week in Detroit with a division crown in the NFC North and the number 1 seed up for grabs. Got win that game. And they got trounced. Got their ass kicked. And this is with Detroit having a bunch of injuries, okay? Okay? Then you lose the game. It drops you from the number 1 seed to the 5th seed, which puts you against the Rams in the playoffs, and then you got trounced again. That's the memory. You can't sit up here and talk about all the Lord.
It cost him the job. It cost him the job in Minnesota. He paid for it already.
But you were being very, very nice. I'm saying you were being very, very nice.
I am.
You can't sit up there and look at that happening, Peter.
You don't like the fact he didn't cower in the corner and say, he comes back even better this year.
Look at you with the motivation.
I'm fired up, baby.
It's really touching. I'm just saying, we get to sit back and go like this.
That's fair.
There's a division title on the line yet? Is it a playoff game yet? We know you can play, Sam Darnold. We know you can play. You're not a scrub. He can play. This is not the Jets. This is not Carolina. We're looking at you in Minnesota when you got at them to 14-2. Well, guess what? You wet the bed then too. What you gonna do? Because let me tell you something right now. Last year, you did have a decent defense with Brian Flores coaching that defense.
Sure did.
You still had Justin Jefferson, you had Addison, you had Hawkinson, you had a crew. All right, it was about you. Yep. And then y'all lost. Now you got Seattle. Their defense is real. Amazing. And Jigba is real. You see what these brothers bring to the table. You got Shaheed there with you now. Oh, you got pieces again. Well, what you gonna do again? That's what I'm saying. Fair. You can't sit up there talking about all of this nice stuff. I know it's Christmas time rolling up. I know Thanksgiving's nearly here. But damn, Peter, come on now. Go ahead, Swag. Go ahead, Swag.
Swagger, what do you think? Will you believe in Darnold if they win, beat the Rams this weekend?
I already do. I already believe in Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold is a really good quarterback. I think Stephen A. is alluding to what makes it difficult to talk about football because a new season happens when you get into the playoffs. And I'm going to just focus on right now. Like, this will be a good step for Sam Darnold. But I still feel like if they lose to the Rams, this is a playoff team. Now, this will quiet a lot of people because the last time we saw him against the Los Angeles Rams, as Stephen A. alluded to, it wasn't pretty when Sam Darnold played them in the the first round of the playoffs. But you got to think about this, man. Like, sometimes, I agree with Peter in this vein. Sometimes it's about the belief in the guy. And sometimes it gives you a little extra ability knowing that this franchise has invested, won money, but also invested in building a better team around you going into it. There was still conversation, and I want Mad Dog and Stephen A. and bring them up on the camera because I remember even while Sam Darnold was making this run with the Minnesota Vikings, we all were still like, but is he gonna be their quarterback? Is he going to be the guy that's going to be the future for the Minnesota Vikings? Now, obviously, we got that question. So I think there's a little different tone and a little different feeling when we come to this iteration of Sam Darnold. Last year, what I felt, Sam Darnold proved to himself that I can play quarterback at a very elite level, given the right opportunity and situation in this league. Didn't end up staying in Minnesota, but you had Seattle come to the table and say, hey, man, we give a lot of credit to what you did last year. We thought you were a phenomenal quarterback. The playoffs are completely different. I've sat on this show and watched Stephen A. talk about my dog, Dak Prescott, a million times because the playoffs is a different time of the year. But we've all said that Dak is a really good quarterback and people believe in him and think that he can get the job done. I think Sam Darnold is now ushered into that position